these two words that humanity has operated from for so very long. I want. If that is the first domino in a row of dominoes that has created the climate emergency we're currently experiencing, just those two words, I want. So I want cars, electricity, houses, fast food, and Amazon delivery system next day of any product almost from anywhere in the world. I want. That is so in the wallpaper. That is so foundational. That is so seemingly unquestionably validated, rewarded through all of these material modes, and or in our current process, ego feeding, meaning if I want attention, I can go on TikTok and I can, maybe not me, many young people could go on TikTok and create a dramatic presentation, and they would get a whole bunch of reactions and attention, energy, and dramatic resonance with what they want. And this dynamic of I want, it can be masked in many, many different ways. If you have a political pundit that wants to get elected, and that's what they want, they don't want to serve, they don't want to help the world, they're not interested in humanity. They want to be in a position of power, status, money, and influence, and safety and control, and ability to have more of what they want. Okay, so how do you deal with that? They say, in air quotes, say all the right things. They go to political polls and they get the listing of, oh, well, the tribe wants this, and this. So all I'm going to do sociopathically as a current political leader is communicate what they said they wanted. And I'm not going to do it. I don't care. I'm not interested in making it happen. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it over and over and over again so that they'll know that I'm here. The only reason I'm here in this position of leadership is to give them what they want. So they'll follow. If somebody wants something egoically, they just narcissistically want it, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, because it's all the same process. If they're willing to manipulate, lie, obfuscate, distort, through clever sophistry and communications to try to get someone else to buy into it, believe it, accept it as true, resonate with it, accept it as reality, want it, or agree with it, if that's their goal and that's their intention, and everything that comes out of their mouth is just to get that want fulfilled, how clever and sophisticated could they become in that process? Especially if they're very intelligent or very articulate. And how many politicians have practiced, it's a horrific thing to say, we apologize for saying it. How many politicians have practiced sincerity and putting deep, heartfelt emotion? Gosh, you just gotta believe me because I'm doing it for you. How'd I do? We're play acting here. That said, this process of generating a false persona of care. How many? There are actors or actresses in movies that operate from seeming deep emotion in the movie, and then when they go back home, they're self-centered, narcissistic, uh, mean, spirited, critical, dramatic, and dysfunctional. So this process of authenticity, of being embodied constantly the same, if you will, is challenging for humanity to effect. And this process of I want is always fighting. It's always in a struggle with wanting to present as something good, something sellable, something relatable, something better than somebody else, something as more right or superior than someone else. None of that supports collaboration between equals. None of that supports collective solutions to the climate change crisis that has been generated by I want. So more I want is not going to solve for the history of historical humanity's I wantingness. That's like, you don't fight fire with fire. Starting fires to put out fires makes more fires. Rewarding ego for its process of ego creates more ego and validates ego and it's supposedly the benefit or necessity of ego. How many leaders in our world have been narcissistically inclined, so much so that they're so convinced of their own rightness, betterness, superiority, authoritative right to dominate other people or to subjugate or dismiss other people's feelings or thoughts or perspectives or understandings or co-creative contribution, that they are looked at as a strong leader, or they're willing to compete against others in such a ruthless way that they would damage or destroy perceived other in order to get into a position of power, authority, or control. This process of I want can be glamorized. It can be dressed up. It can be obfuscated and say people that are in I want mode can say, well, you know, I have no personal intention here at all. This is love. That's all it is love. And let's all just hold hands in love. Oh, and will I make billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars as a result? Maybe I will. That's really not important, though, is it? Because we've got love, right? So focus on the love. Make your decisions from this statement of, no, it's all about love. Well, sure, I'll do good things with those billions of dollars down the line as long as I get it. And of course, all I really care about is the love, or all I really care about is this, that, or the other, when the real goal is financial attainment and or position, power, status, attention, recognition, social or emotional egoic reward. Sussing that out is brutal. It's a brutal process because that means if you go at it from unconditional love, if you go at it from and we always suggest approach anybody and everybody. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter if they're a Vladimir Putin or Assad in Syria. It doesn't matter. If you approach them with unconditional love and this absolute willingness to drill down, dig down to the bottom line, what's the goal here in this person's system? Is it service? Is it love? Is it money? Is it power? Is it control? Is it safety? Whatever it is, it's important to understand because that will inform your capacity to support them, to facilitate them, to honor their true creative potential as a soul, no matter where they may be at the moment. It's kind of unimportant. What is important is what they have the capacity to be. What do they have the capacity to offer the world? If there was somebody that had a new idea, a new concept, a new technology, and they were wanting to do good things in the world, well, that's fabulous. The cell phone is a model for that. Has the smartphone changed the world in many, many ways, for the better and perhaps for the worse in some ways? Would we say, oh no, we shouldn't have the smartphone because the person that invented it was hoping to make a lot of money? No, we wouldn't say that. Is it useful that the smartphone be created in such a way as to be utilized to benefit humanity and not to help terrorists connect to kill other people? We would say it is useful that it be used for good purpose. And we would suggest that anyone that is selling anything to anybody for any reason, especially if it's a potentially influencing change in the world. So WSS and SME, sure, we're saying, oh, they're good for the world. We want to help everybody. We want to make the world a better place. We want to heal people, unify people, solve for the climate crisis. Okay. Now, how many people could look at that and say, oh, no, you're just competing for funds from potential donors? Or, oh, no, you're just, excuse me for saying this. This is you're an old white guy who John is not speaking as WSS, just pointing at John and saying, "Oh, you're an old white guy, so you're obviously a biased person, out of touch with reality, not really caring about genders, races, women's challenges that they're facing, or the needs of the many." Because that everyone knows that old white guys only want power and control and money and influence in the world and don't care about anybody. So these projective tendencies can be as damaging to the process of being truly discerning as trying to see the good in people and missing that there are other competing dynamics within their systems at the same time. So you've heard the old expression of two wolves. One is the supposed bad wolf and one is the good wolf. Which one wins in the battle? The one you feed. So in interaction with anybody that is narcissistically inclined or that is egoically inclined or personal profit, power, status, or attention or recognition inclined, if they have a part of themselves that is recognizably loving, kind, caring, if that part is fed and the other parts are not allowed space for participation in the relationship or the conversation, then there's at least potential